Will all the members of the class of 1960 please stand? Let's give them a warm welcome. It's good to see you all, but please sit down so we can not applaud the rest of the groups. So let's follow instructions. And by the way, that is a nice representation. We're glad so many of you are here. That's, I think, an unusually large group. Now let's go backwards. Class of 1959, please stand. No applause, please. Hey, the president can't change the rules.
Why not?
We're behind. Class of 1958.
That's you.
Oh, I'm one. I'm sorry. How come you remember that? There's another one. Okay. 1957. No applause, no applause. 1956. 1955. 1954. You're not following instructions. 1954. There's a nice guy. Okay. 1953. We'll applaud when we're done.
Oh, you politicians are
Hey, his staff told me to rush this along, and he's over there wrecking the thing. Where did we stop? Okay, 1952. 1951. 1950. Oh, a big group. We can applaud for them. 1949. And end of the classes, 1948. Now, before we applaud the whole group, have I missed any class at all? Okay. Now, thank you for coming, and we may applaud.
Hi, everybody. I'm Betty Plum from the class of 1960. Dr. Wilde, members of the 50-year club, and guests. We, the members of the class of 1960, are pinching ourselves to see if we're really here because it can't possibly be 50 years since we graduated. Our reunion committee has decided that the class gift will go toward the new Science Center, and so we plan to raise $100,000 within the next 5 years for a student gathering place in that new building. A plaque will inform students that we, the members of the class of 1960, leave this legacy in appreciation for the education we received at North Central and the experiences we had here that so enriched our lives.
Thank you. Since I'm only partway through that lovely dessert, I will do my best to be brief so that we get around to the really important business of the night, which is recognizing the great members of the class of 1960. My prepared remarks really start and end with one message, which is welcome home. Welcome home. This is the 20th time I've had the privilege of delivering that greeting to North Central's 50th reunion classes, and it truly is a privilege. First time, it was the great class of 1941, and it was Dan and Greta Rugi's class. And now, this is the first class of the 1960s. I got to tell you that this has always been, as in my favorite North Central night of the year. Maybe it's because every year the 50th reunion classes seem to be getting younger. Since we also graduated in the 60s. I got to tell you, the real reason, however, is because the longer we're here, the more familiar faces we see in this room. And year after year, reading the reunion books, I'm always inspired by who you are and the lives you've led. So many great teachers and great preachers, not exactly a fundraiser's dream, but as the president of your alma mater, a school where leadership ethics and values are deep in our DNA, as Kitty reminds us, I could not be prouder. Graduates like you are what North Central is all about and has been for almost a century and a half. I got to tell you that at this gathering, because I've been doing this for 20 years, I also see a lot of faces that aren't here. Peg Hammersmith, Dick Eastman, Claire Osterly, Olive France, Harold Riebel, Dan and Greta Ruge. I could go on and on and on and on. People who were at earlier ones of these gatherings, people who so supported this institution, people who mentored me and who basically told me by their actions, by their words, by their generosity of spirit, that this was the school to love. This is the school to love. Last fall, I got a letter from an alumnus of North Central when it was an EUB school. He referred in that letter to North Central as a humble EUB school. And then referencing all the buildings, the Wentz, the Res Rec Center, Miley Swallow Hall, Keycover, our four-color magazine, our nonstop fundraising appeals, he referred to it all as glitz. And he finished his letter to me with this question. My question to you, President Wilde, is, where is God in the North Central College of today? Fair question, although I'm not sure I'm the right person to answer it. But let me try to answer it a little bit. Yes, the campus looks a lot different from when most of you were students here. Yes, the Wentz Concert Hall and Fine Arts Center and Miley Swallow Hall, which is up the block here, the old Grace Evangelical Church, and the Res Rec Center are something special. Yes, we've got a lot more students here, and they're a lot more diverse in color and religious background than most of your classmates. Yes, we had 3 national championship teams this last year, and our football team is undefeated and rated 6th in the nation. Although I got to say the class of 1960 football team knows something about those kinds of achievements. But let me assure you, as I assured this alumnus, in the fundamentals, the deep liberal arts foundation, the quality of teaching and commitment of the faculty, a campus climate grounded in ethics and values and the faith of our fathers, this place has not changed. This place has not changed. We have more liberal arts requirements right now than when any of you were students. We send many more students on mission trips and service projects, both here and abroad, than when George St. Angelo was working his magic on this institution. We have 3 Christian worship services on campus every Sunday morning. Every Friday night, up to 300 students show up at a contemporary worship and music gathering off campus run by our Religious Services Office. More than 200 of our students are actively involved in serving the 2 inner-city grade schools we adopted more than 2 decades ago. 20 years ago, we had 1 campus music ensemble. Today, we have 18, and you'll see what 5 of them can do in just a few minutes. This is a campus that welcomes all faiths, but best of all, it is a campus where no student need hide his or her faith. And it is still a place where standards matter, where rules are rules. Our accreditors gave us a clean bill of health for the next 10 years when they visited campus earlier this year. Our accreditors from the University Senate of the United Methodist Church, who were here earlier this month, were equally impressed, particularly by our campus religious climate. Where does this place God on North Central's campus? Again, I wouldn't presume to answer, but my guess is the same place as when you were here and when my friend, the EUB preacher's kid who wrote me this note, was here. But one important thing has changed over the past 50 years, and I reminded this graduate, and I remind all of you as well. Then the EUB Church was the financial backbone of the college, supplying 1/4 of our budget. Now the United Methodist Church supplies. We get a campus minister. They don't give us money. That's it. That's one. Remember, when you were here, the EUB Church provided 1/4 of the college's budget. In today's terms, that would be about $13–14 million a year. We get 0. Remember that. Fortunately for North Central, fortunately for this institution, those old EUBs did their job very, very well with our graduates. All of you learned about leadership ethics and values, and you learned about paying forward in life. Without our alumni, this college might well have closed in the difficult years after the United Methodist merger. But our graduates kept the faith, and everything you see on this weekend is because of those graduates keeping the faith. So much of what we celebrate about North Central College in 2010, so much, can be traced to the remarkable generosity of spirit of alumni with names like Osterly, White, Bramson, Wentz, Schneller, Flickinger, Benedetti, Worley, and thousands of others like them. And the Eastmans, St. Angelos, and Eigenbrots, and so many others who taught them so well. I hope all of you are as proud of your college in 2010 as we are proud of you and the ways your lives have witnessed for what you learned here. Tonight the circle is unbroken. May it always be so. When I look out at you, when I look out at all of you, I don't just see the college's past. I see its future. Thank you for your love for and support of your alma mater. God bless you, and again, welcome home.
Class of 1960. That's a long time ago. I don't think so either. I was at a Bible study the other day, and one of the gentlemen said, what high school did you go to? I said, Sullivan High School in Chicago. He said, what year? 1951 is when I graduated. He said, well, I'm from the class of 55. You're an old man. I said, no, I'm just older. Tuesday, September the 17th, 1956, the class of 1960 started their registration. Do you remember those? Rickety wooden steps in Old Main, the tables set up along the walls, waiting for a wind to blow all those cards away. 209 men, 99 women, 308 students were registered. Friday, September the 20th, 1956, the first day of class. 4 years later, June the 5th, your class became the 94th graduating class, commencement graduating class from North Central College. How many of you graduated? Any guess? 155. 155. Your commencement was slightly different from the ones that the other classes in this room experienced because there was one president, President Harvey Geiger, but there was also a president-elect, Arlo Schilling. As a result, both the present president, Dr. Geiger, and the president-elect, Dr. Schilling, were involved in your commencement. Arlo Schilling began as president on July the 1st. So he had two presidents. That's a first, I think. It's very good. What we're going to do is we're going to read off the names. I'm going to read off the names. And as your name is called, this isn't going to be Pfeiffer Hall, but you're just going to come forward and you're going to get a certificate and a photograph. Yes, with the president, President Wilde. Are you ready?
If you like, I'll stay out of the photo, you know? Nobody.
No. Okay. Marjorie Knapp Bauman.
And you can clap for everyone who comes up.
John Brapson.
John Brapson. Hey!
Dallas Chapman. Ruth Gerke Denker. I understand she was a homecoming queen.
You can do it again.
Neil Denker. Helen Bauman DeWitt.
Did they arrange this table by alphabet? Yeah. There you go. Congratulations.
It's arranged by rooms on free yourself.
Luann Lupke Dregney. Richard Easterday. Jim Fanthorpe.
Dr. Fantor? Congratulations.
Marge Lewis Gothi. Dorothy Holly Haney.
I should tell people that, you know, the diplomas at North Central at this point in history, they have some sort of machine signing process. But these are all authentically signed. 50 years.
Yes. Larry Haney.
Original signature.
Carol Ulrich Johnson.
Well, that's it. See, I knew they'd say that. You know, they didn't teach penmanship when I like some of you who followed the magazine really closely know that I had my thumb in a cast at the commencement and so on, and I always wrote poorly, but now I have an excuse.
Ron Liesemer. Anna Shaw Nielsen.
Homecoming queen.
Carl Nielsen. Betty Kirchhofer Plum.
Hey, you see my wife?
I know.
Harold Ream.
Oh, you're getting shot at from two sides. We gotta go over here. Dave, okay.
Joanne Schmidt Ressler. Larry Ressler. John Sippy.
You know, these guys up here are giving commentary. Fortunately, what they're saying is he looks just like he did when he was an undergraduate. All of which tells you something about their vision.
Are we ready? Yes. Sue Conaway Tresnick.
Congratulations.
I wish my mom and dad were alive. They had to pay for this.
Hey. Did they get their money's worth?
Oh, of course.
Bob Welk. Margaret Pritchard Winters.
But this is bad side.
Congratulations.
Yes. Frank Wolf. Carol Stoffaker Zager. Carol Sager.
Oh, you guys are so mean. Congratulations. You gotta look up here. Hey, nice going.
Harold Zager.
What a great name. No, I'm from Wauwatosa. Congratulations.
Sophie?
How do we make people put, my kids won't use it on their grandkids.
Barb Face Sophie.
Congratulations.
And Ron Zophie. Is there any? I was going to say, is there anybody that we missed? I graduated from class of 55. But thank you all. Class of 1960, you are now members of the 50-year club. Another round of applause.
I have your attention. It's time for the benediction, and as we leave this gathering, we're thankful for the relationships that were formed on this campus. May the spirit of our teachers, parents, friends, and our kids continue to guide us. Let the mystery of life throughout the universe challenge us to serve and honor each other. Lord, let us be led by your wisdom, supported by your love, and strengthened by your hope. Amen.
I've got one quick housekeeping note. I do hope all of you are joining us for the concert. We've reserved some seats for the 50-year club up in the balcony, which are prime seats, by the way. So if you're not able to find seats down on the main floor, by all means, I invite you to head up to the balcony. But again, thank you so much for coming tonight. Welcome home. We're very happy that you're here. Congratulations, class of 1960. And I invite you all to stand, and we're going to sing the alma mater with Joanne Schmidt-Russler playing the piano in the back for us.